Albers, president of the board of the Chicago Literary Hall of Fame. I am deeply in quarantine, and I hope you are staying safe too, wherever you are. We are doing a project at the Chicago Literary Hall of Fame based on an idea that Rick Cogan gave me many years ago for Story Week. It's called Chicago Classics, and Rick hosted it for a number of years. We would invite writers in and other people from around the city to tell us about a favorite book of theirs by a Chicago writer and then read a short passage. We're borrowing that idea, redubbing it Quarantine Classics, and we hope you will join us in this project and pick a book of your own to talk about. Today I'm going to tell you about Henderson the Rain King by Saul Bellow. I loved Seize the Day, Dangling Man, Herzog, Augie March, all of those books. But Henderson the Rain King struck a particular romantic chord in me. And now as I come to you from quarantine, where I can barely go outside during the day, a novel about a guy who lives in upstate New York, raises pigs in his backyard, and is suffering disaster after disaster, and who finally decides to break the spirit's sleep by heading off to Africa, strikes me as particularly appropriate and something that would be awfully fun to do right now. So let me just read a bit for you of it. What do you do with yourself if you have a temperament like mine? A student of the mind once explained to me that if you inflict your anger on inanimate things, you not only spare the living, as a civilized man ought to do, but you get rid of the bad stuff in you. This seemed to make good sense, and I tried it out. I tried with all my heart, chopping wood, lifting, plowing, laying cement blocks, pouring concrete, and cooking mash for the pigs. On my own place, stripped to the waist like a convict, I broke stones with a sledgehammer. It helped, but not enough. Rude begets rude, sad, and blows. At least in my own case. It not only begot, but it increased. Wrath increased with wrath. So what do you do with yourself? But there always comes a day of tears and madness. Now I've already mentioned that there was a disturbance in my heart, a voice that spoke there and said, I want. It happened every afternoon, and when I tried to suppress it, it got even stronger. It only said one thing, I want. And I would ask, what do you want? But this was all it would ever tell me. It never said a thing except I want. This was what made me behave as I did. By 3 o'clock I was in despair. Only towards sunset the voice would let up. And sometimes I thought maybe this was my occupation, because it would knock off at 5 o'clock of itself. America's so big, and everybody is working, making, digging, bulldozing, trucking, loading, and so on. And I guess the sufferers suffer at the same rate, everybody wanting to pull together. I tried every cure you can think of. Of course, in an age of madness, to expect to be untouched by madness is a form of madness. But the pursuit of sanity can be a form of madness too. I hope you will make your own video, send it to us at the Chicago Literary Hall of Fame. That's chicagoliteraryhof.org. Meanwhile, I hope you stay safe, entertained, and educated. Thank you.